Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of How I Tank. As I promised, you guys wanted a How I Tank video. We're going to be covering view range and camo mechanics in today's video, and I'm going to be busting one of the biggest myths about view range in the game that's been there since day one. In fact, very rarely do I watch any other streamers. I just don't have time, but I was sitting down, I was having dinner a couple of days ago, caught up on a stream for one of the biggest World of Tanks streamer in the world, and right in the middle of that stream, someone brought up that bloody misinformation regarding view range again, and the streamer couldn't answer the question. And it amazes me that someone as experienced as that didn't actually know the answer to the question. And if experienced players don't understand view range and camo mechanics, then I really can't blame inexperienced players for misunderstanding it as well. But let's just get to it. Let's bust this myth. And this myth comes from a 500 meter view range cap, and it comes from equipment. Descriptions. We've got here Binox, 25% view range plus 25% view range for a stationary vehicle up to 500 meters. We've got coated optics, plus 10% to view range up to a range of 500 meters. Now, the misinformation, the misunderstanding is that there's a view range cap of 500 meters, and that is completely wrong. That is misinformation, and I'm going to explain why. So I'm going to pop into paint, and I do hope you guys forgive me because my paint skills are absolutely terrible. So this is what I'm trying to draw in paint at the moment, so maybe you will understand it a little bit better. This is the box that is around my tank. This is 500 meters directly to the back, to the front, and to the sides of my tank. This round circle here is my effective spotting range, so I can only spot tanks for myself within 445 meters. You can see this T-37 has been spotted by friendlies, but because he's within this square, I can actually see the tank. I can see the tank, and if I had a line of fire on the tank, I would be able to shoot him, even though I'm not spotting him for myself. These tanks over here have been spotted, but they've been spotted again by these tanks here. I can see them on the mini-map because of the signal range, but I can't actually see them by looking at them because the view range square is only 500 meters and these guys are outside of 500 meters. However, if they were to advance and come up here, I would be able to shoot them even though they're beyond 500 meters simply because they're within this square. And down here we've got a 50 meter proximity circle where view range and camo rating mean absolutely nothing. But we're going to head back into paint now. So what we're going to do is I want you to imagine we've got a mini-map, okay? And on this mini-map, so this entire white area is the mini-map, okay? On our mini-map we've got a square. Assuming you've got advanced minimap features enabled or you've got mods enabled, we've got a square, and right in the middle of this square is our tank. Now I don't know if this is going to be exact middle, it looks okay to me, but there's our tank right in the middle of that square. Okay, so this is the minimap, and around this square, let's change the color to maybe blue. Around this square we've got a circle from about maybe here down to here. No! Why did it disappear? So it's from there, maybe to about there. No, don't want to do that. Excuse my paint skills, by the way, guys. Okay, so we've got a circle to about there. Oh, that's a little bit too far down. Okay. Alright, so that looks better. Alright, so we've got our tank in the middle, we've got our square, and we've got a circle. Now, this circle represents our spotting range, okay? Not the view range. The view range is something else. This is the spotting range. So if we draw a straight line from our tank to the edge of this circle on our mini-map, what this is it's a distance of 445 meters, okay? So the maximum spotting distance from your tank, no matter how much view range you've got, no matter what equipment you've got, no matter what skills you have on the tank, we're going to go into that in a while, but this is the maximum spotting range. So this is 445 meters all around. This circle from the edge of the circle to our tank in every direction is 445 meters. We cannot spot enemy tanks for ourselves outside of this circle. Every tank has a maximum 445 meters spotting range, okay? Camo rating and view range are going to come into this in a moment, but this is where you spot enemy tanks. Now, if we change this slightly, let's change it to another color. Let's go with purple for Unicum. Alright, so we've got a 445 meter spotting range. However, we can view up to 500 meters, for example, as I say, with the binocs or the coated optics have a maximum view range of 500 meters. Where does that come from? Well, that comes from the square, because the square is, again, we're going to draw a straight line from our tank out to the edge of the square. That's straight enough. Okay, so we can see actually beyond the blue circle the viewing range, or the spotting range, up to the square. And what this is this is the render range, and the render range is 500 meters. Okay, it's 500 meters from our tank to the edge of that square. Now, if we were using binocs, we can spot up to a maximum of 500 meters. Or if we're using coated optics, we can spot up to a maximum of 500 meters. So let's assume we've got a tank with very good view range. We've got binocs on the tank, and the binocs activate. What it means is we can spot with binocs. Binocs will work up to 500 meters. Okay, so there we go. All right, but that seems a little bit pointless. Okay, there's a 500 meter cap with the binocs, but we can only spot tanks up to 445 meters. So what's the point in having view range above 445 meters? We're going to come into that in a moment. And as I say, I want to bust this myth of a 500 meter view range cap. And we can start busting that myth right now by picking a different color. Let's pick green. Okay, so we've got a 500 meter view range up to the edge of the square. This means that enemy tanks, or friendly tanks that spot enemy tanks, for example, let's change the color again. Let's assume, oh, it's red. Okay, enemy tanks are always red. Let's assume there was an enemy tank right here. Okay, he is outside our spotting range. He is outside our spotting range, but he is being spotted by another tank, and yet we can see him. So how does that work, Irish? Well, that works. Let's go with a darker color. That works because, no, I told you my paint skills were terrible. That works because the distance from our tank in a diagonal to the edge of the square isn't 500 meters. What this is it's actually 700. It's roughly about 707 meters, but let's just call it 705 meters. So we've got 705 meters of actual render range. We can see enemy tanks up to 500 meters away, in front, directly to the behind, directly to the sides of our tank. If enemy tanks are spotted diagonally, we can actually spot and shoot them up to, well, we can't spot, but we can see and shoot them up to 705 meters away if they're in this corner of the square, if someone else is spotting them, and if we are within signal range of the tank that's spotting them. So already the 500 meter view range cap is broken because we can actually spot enemy tanks, or we can see enemy tanks up to 705 meters away. So yeah, 500 meter view range cap, that's how far the binocs can extend, but you can actually extend a lot further than this if you've got other equipment, crew skills and consumables on the tank. But with the binocs, they will go up to 500 meters only. Everything else adds on top of this. But yeah, as I say, you can shoot tanks if they're spotted. You're not spotting them yourself, but you can shoot tanks if they're spotted up to 705 meters away. So there we go. That's the 500 meter view range cap already broken. Okay, so we're going to get into camo rating and we're going to get into view range now, but this is basically what the square is. I actually should mention, just very, very quickly, there is a dead zone where view range and camo rating doesn't actually matter. Let's get rid of, let's change the color again. Let's make this one orange. So let's make a smaller circle around our tank. There we go. All right, so this is the proximity circle, this small circle around our tank. Some mods, I don't actually know if the extended minimap features have it in World of Tanks, but some mods do. You've got a 50-meter circle around your tank, and this 50-meter circle is a proximity spot range. And basically how it works, I showed it earlier this morning in the video earlier today. Mistimed that shot, but again, look, I'm proxy spotting. I need support. I'm the only tank that's actually advanced from spawn, so proxy spotting. These guys, yes, they came for me. So what I mean by proxy spot is proximity spotting. Any tank, it doesn't matter about their view range, it doesn't matter about their camo rating, but any tank that gets within 50 meters of your tank, you can spot. They can spot you, you can spot them. So this is kind of like a dead area where view range and camo mechanics don't actually work. It doesn't matter how good your camo rating is, it doesn't matter how good your view range is. If a tank is within 50 meters of your tank, you're going to spot them. So just to reiterate, you can only spot tanks up to 445 meters. You can spot tanks up to 445 meters. So there's a myth that there's no point in having view range over 445 meters. Your binocs and coated optics are capable of getting your view range up to a 500 meter range, the edge of the square on your minimap, which is 500 meters in a direct line from your tank to the edge, but not diagonally. That is possibly where the myth comes from, and because people can only spot tanks up to 445, they think anything above 445 is useless, or they think anything above 500 is just dead view range. If someone is boosting their tank above 500 meters of view range, they think it is dead view range. And that is such misinformation. It is so wrong, and if people just did a little bit of research, then they'd find out that, yeah, it is completely wrong. But don't let my bad paint skills sway you. Don't just take my word for it. Let's hear it from Wargaming themselves. In the Wargaming wiki, under view range, they say it themselves. Note, unlike what the in-game description of the view range enhancing equipment indicates. There we go, they're saying ignore what the binocs say, or note that unlike what the in-game description of the view range enhancing equipment indicates, here we go, there is no 500 meter view range limitation. Let me repeat that. There is no 500 meter cap. There is no limitation. They even go so far as to put it in bold writing. View range is unlimited. You can have as much view range as you want, although technically the maximum view range you can actually get is about 600 meters, and that's if you completely kit out one of the tanks with the best view range in the game. So the best tank with the best view range in the game is the Patton, and if you put every single piece of view range enhancing equipment, every single piece of view range enhancing consumables, every single piece or every single view range enhancing skill, then you can get up to just about 600 meters view range with the Patton. That's the maximum view range in game at the moment. There is no limitation. View range is unlimited. There is no cap. And the next time someone tries to give you that information or tell you that view range above 500 is dead view range, or view range above 445 is dead view range, tell them to watch this video or send them to the Watt Wiki and tell them to find out themselves, because there is no view range limitation. That's it. Myth is busted. There is no more evidence I can provide that will prove the opposite. Now, I could go into a training room with someone else and spend hours and hours and hours of taking equipment off, putting equipment on, retraining the crew to skills in order to show you this in real time, but I don't have time, and it's, to be quite frankly, too much effort considering this website exists. This is whatinfo.net, and this is an absolutely amazing website if you're interested in basically statistics, if you're interested in all the hidden values of tanks and statistics, and you want to see basically how putting a piece of equipment on a tank might actually affect it. It's a very, very good website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, well, even before we do that, let's talk about view range. So we're going to focus on view range, and then we're going want to focus on Camo Rating. Now, View Range and Camo Rating are yin and yang. They are part of the same entity, but they are also opposites. View Range counteracts Camo Rating. Camo Rating counteracts View Range. The better your View Range, the more Camo Rating is affected. The better your Camo Rating, the more View Range is affected. So when you've got two tanks, it's going to be your Camo Rating versus their View Range versus your Camo Rating. And that depends on who spots who first. So there are lots and lots of things. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of players kind of just stop thinking about view range when it comes to coated optics or binocs. So there's lots of ways you can affect the view range on your tank, and there's lots of reasons why you're going to want to get your view range up as high as possible. So we're going to enter a tank name here. For example, let's put the AMX 1390 in here because it's a very good scout, and I'm currently grinding it for the AMX 30. Or actually, I think I finished that grind. I'm not quite sure. Okay, we've got a 1390 down here, and one of the reasons I'm picking this tank is because it's got a nice even 400 meters of view range. Okay, so that doesn't even reach. Look at this. Max effective view range 445 meters. That is the spotting range. Okay, so let's start putting equipment on. So usually when we've got view range, we talk about two pieces of equipment. We talk about coated optics. Now, coated optics adds 10% to your view range, which takes us up to 440 meters. Okay, so we still haven't reached view range cap. The other piece of view range equipment is the binocs, and that takes us up to an even 500 cap. Okay, so that takes us up to the maximum possible view range cap. Just like the binocs say, takes us up to a 500 view range cap. But as I've already proved, there's no such thing as a view range cap. So we're up to 500 meters. Now, what's the next thing that can affect your view range? Let's take these off because something a lot of people don't know is we've got two skills that affect your view range on a tank as well. I forgot to mention, your commander has to be 100%, okay? Your commander has to be 100% in order to get 100% view range from your tank. If your commander is not 100%, you're not going to get the full view range of your tank. So the basic view range with a 100% commander, that's the most important thing, is 400 meters. Now, we're going to just take a look here with the 400 meters. Now, let's assume we've got two skills. We actually do have two skills that affect the view range. First one is Recon. Now, Recon skill, let's put it up to 100%, so that takes us up to 408 meters. That means that Recon is worth 2% additional view range, okay? 2% additional view range. Sometimes people ask which is better, Recon or situational awareness, and my answer is always both. But if you're going to be choosing between one or the other, situational Recon is a commander skill, situational awareness is a radio operator skill. So if we scroll down, what you can see is if we put situational awareness at 100%, it actually gets us 413. So remember, Recon got us 408, situational awareness got us 413. So the difference is Recon gives us about 2% increase in view range, whereas situational awareness gives us up to 3.3% additional view range. On a French tank, quite often the commander is also the radio operator, so you've got a choice between Recon and situational awareness. When you've got a choice, situational awareness is much better than Recon. So let's assume we've got full Recon and we've got situational awareness on the skills, and we stick some coated optics on here, and that takes us up to 463. Okay, let's take situational awareness off. I'm trying to balance this, so there we go, that's pretty close. Okay, so we got 449 meters. Our maximum effective range is 445. Okay, so coated optics and Recon on the tank. Alright, so we're going to move down. We're going to put an enemy tank down here, and we're going to pick, for example, I don't know, what's the name, X1390? Let's go for something like a mouse with absolutely terrible camo rating. Okay, so we put a mouse in. You look at the camo rating, 1.43. So terrible camo rating on the mouse. So we've got a maximum effective view range or a spotting range of 445 meters. We've got coated optics. We've got Recon on our AMX 1390. And if these two tanks were sitting out in the open, the AMX 1390 can spot the mouse at almost maximum effective view range if the mouse was stationary. If the mouse is moving, it can be spotted at the maximum effective spotting range. and if it is shooting, it can be spotted at the maximum effective shooting range. Okay, so that's quite good. That's why you boost your view range when you're in a AMX 1390. And it works against a tank that's very, very poorly, got a very, very poor camo rating. But what happens if we get another tank? Let's put a tank in here that has a very good camo rating. Let's put an enemy AMX 1390 in here. And the AMX 1390, as I say, is got the best view range of any Tier A, or best camo rating of any Tier 8 light tank. Okay, so we've got the most best camo rating on the tank we're trying to spot. Okay, so now all of a sudden we've got a maximum view range at the moment of 448 or 449, and we're not going to be able to spot a stationary AMX 1390 until 378 meters. Okay, but we're at 445 meters, so that's still okay. But what happens if we boost our view range even more? So remember, 378 meters. Let's boost our view range. Let's give ourselves situational awareness. Now we can spot him at 390. So even though we were already at the maximum effective spotting range, by boosting our view range up to 463, we can now spot him at 390 meters. But it doesn't stop there, because there are other ways you can enhance your view range. You can enhance your view range by putting Brothers in Arms on the tank. So if we put Brothers in Arms on the tank, all of a sudden our view range goes up to 474, and now we can spot an AMX 1390 at 400 meters. And let's boost our view range even more by putting consumables on the tank. Now we're up to almost 500 meters of view range. Okay, so we can spot an AMX 1390, enemy AMX 1390 at 418 meters. If he's shooting, we can spot him at the maximum possible view or spotting range, 445 meters. And we can boost our view range even further by putting improved vents on the tank, and that takes us over the 500 meter cap. So the 500 meter cap is a complete and utter myth, and now we can spot the enemy AMX 1390 at 427. So there are lots of ways of boosting your view range. Let's get rid of coated optics. You'd be an idiot to use binocs on an AMX 1390, but let's use binocs anyway. That gets us up to 578 meters of view range. And now, look at what's happened. With the maximum possible view range on an AMX 1390, we can spot an enemy AMX 1390 at stationary, at the maximum possible spotting range, moving at the maximum possible spotting range, and shooting at the maximum possible spotting range. So yeah, view range, you can boost it beyond 500 meters, and the more view range you have on a tank, the better. I've always said the more view range you have on a tank, the better. There are lots of ways you can boost your view range. You can use equipment, you can use crew skills, you can use consumables. So you've got the recon skill, you've got the situational awareness skill, you've got the Brothers in Arms skill, you've got coated optics or binocs, you've got improved vents that can boost your view range, and then you've got consumables. So lots and lots of ways of improving your view range. So yeah, there we go. The better your view range, the sooner you can spot enemy tanks. But you can only spot them up to a range of 445 meters. Okay, so that is view range. Now let's look at camo. So we're going to come down here to this unfortunate AMX 1390, the enemy 1390, and he's getting spotted. He's getting spotted all over the place. There's nowhere this guy can move, shoot, drive, sit in the open without being spotted at 445 meters. Now, let's assume this guy isn't driving the AMX 1390 completely naked, and he's actually gone for some camo rating. Let's say this tank up here has gone for maximum view range, but this AMX 1390 driver is going to be going for maximum camo. Camo rating and view range are directly opposed, so we're going to set this up as a camo tank, and camo is almost identical to view range. It is amazing how similar they are, because instead of equipment, we've got coated optics and binocs for view range, but instead of those pieces of equipment, what we've got is the camo net. So let's put a camo net on the AMX 1390. And remember, at the moment we can be spotted at 445. What I want you to do is I want you to look at the camo level stationary, and when we put the camo net on, this shoots up to to 27.67. But also now, if we're stationary, if we're moving or shooting, we could still be spotted at 445 meters, but if we are stationary, we're only going to be spotted at 431. So our camo rating is starting to kick in, but there are lots of ways of making the camo rating even better than just a camo net. For example, you can put paint, camo paint on your tank, and if you're driving a light tank, if you don't have camo on the tank, even if it's purchased for credits, you're doing yourself a disservice. By putting a camo paint on the tank, we've increased our camo rating even more, up to 30.6, and you can see that now we can only be spotted at 416 meters. So we've put our camo net on, we've put camo on the camo paint on the tank. Now, this is the big one. If you're driving a light tank, you absolutely have to have a camo rating, camo skill on your crew. So we're going to put a camo skill on our crew, and what I want you to do is look at that camo level stationary. Look how much this is going to shoot up. It almost doubles from the original. So let's take the camo net and camo paint off. Let's put the camo skill off. And remember, we're at 17.67. Look what a difference camo skill makes with a 100% camo skill. We go from 17.67 up to 32. Almost doubles. It almost doubles. So camo skill can increase the camo rating of your tank by probably up to almost 80%. It is absolutely amazing. It's an amazing skill to have on a light tank. I can't recommend it enough. Almost every single light tank I own, the first skill I unlock for the crew is camo. So camo skill, very important. And like I say, you can put a camo net on it. So with camo skill, we're down to 409, 410 meters that we're being spotted. Let's put the camo net back on. Now 356. Now remember, without any camo, we were being spotted at 445 meters. Now that we're starting to camo up the tank, we're being spotted at 356. Let's put the paint back on. Now we can only be spotted at 341 meters. So camo rating and view range are directly opposed, but there are other ways. There are other ways to improve your camo rating as well, and this is why it is so like the view range, because just like the view range, you can improve your camo rating with improved vents. Let's put improved vents on, and look, our camo rating goes even higher. Now we can only be spotted at 337 meters. Let's put brothers in arms. Now we can only be spotted at 333 meters. And let's put consumables. Even consumables boost your camo rating. Now we can only be spotted at 325 or 326 meters. Camo rating and view range are directly opposed. The better your view range, then the less effective enemy tanks' camo ratings are. The better your camo rating, the less effective enemy tanks' view range is. So the two are yin and yang. They are directly opposed, and there are lots and lots of ways you can boost them. As I say, you've got equipment, you've got crew skills, you've got consumables that can improve the view range of your tank. You've got equipment, you've got crew skills, and you've got consumables that can improve the camo rating of your tank. The two of them are directly opposed. So, yeah, that's basically camo rating and view range and how they work. There is no cap, guys. There is no 500 meter cap, regardless of what the binocs or the coated optics say. Those pieces of equipment will only work up to 500 meters, but you can boost your view range well beyond 500 meters, and it is worth doing, because the more you boost your view range, the sooner you spot enemy tanks that get within this 445 meters. Now remember, as I say, this square is 500 meters directly to the sides and to the front and back of your tank, but you can spot in this square up to 705 meters. You can't spot enemy tanks, but you can view them, you can see them, you can shoot them if someone else is spotting them. You can only spot your own tanks within 445 meters, and the better your view range, the more likely you are to spot tanks within 445 meters. And that's the best I can do, guys. That's Camo Rating, that is view range. Lots of ways you can boost them far beyond what just equipment. It's all down to skills, it's all down to whether or not you use consumables, and of course the equipment is always really, really important. But if you ever hear anyone talk about a 500-meter cap, again, smack them hard, tell them to come to this video, or direct them to the What Wiki page, where Wargaming have specifically said there is no view range cap. I hope this video has been of some help. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.